Alright guys, so what we're going to do today is we're going to be making these rear flares. So they're going to be quite wider now. They're probably going to be about here. So what we're going to do is, first things first, we're going to be tracing this flange onto that cardboard. From there we're going to put it back on the Jeep, and if it lines up nice and everything, we're going to transfer it onto our 14 gauge metal. That's going to be our starting point. From there we're going to be using a 1/4 inch rod, and we're going to be just making the shape of the flare. From there we're going to be using sheet metal over there, 22 gauge, and just going to be making a nice paneling up, just like how the factory Jeep flares are. So let's get to it. We're just gonna add a little bit more into this, but this is what the base is gonna start off like. So we're just gonna add more strength here, more strength over there, and that corner, and the same down. Alright guys, so that's our template we're gonna use. So we added a little bit more strength where we had room. For example, here in the corners and by the end. So a little shot of our base. Now we're going to transfer that to the 14 gauge metal and cut that out. So here's the template transferred over to the metal. We're going to cut this thing out. Alright, so right now what we're going to do is we put our little locating pins, or bolts you want to say. We're going to be drilling some holes here and be putting rib nuts, and then from there we're going to be transferring this onto the next sheet metal, 14 gauge, and we're going to be keep building it off. So today we're going to be working on the rear flares. We already had the bases made. So right now we're going to be building off these things. We have the front ones to kind of go off on, but as you can see, it has to come out a lot. We want it to look somewhat factory too. So check out the process. Alright, so right now what we're doing is that we made an outside skeleton of this shape on our left side flare. So this gave us like somewhat of a guide. Then we went ahead and used the right side front flare as a little template to see how we like the front portion of this. So now we're just fine tuning that. So what this is going to be is, it's going to be this edge. From there we're going to make another copy for the right side, and then we're going to be start making little supports that are just going to come down into our little plate all around. We're going to make 2 copies of that for the other side, and then from here we're going to make our skeleton coming out and how we like it.
Chase Your Mills.
So right now we're just measuring the same distance as the front, and what we're going to do is we're going to mimic and do both sides at once. So let's say if we cut 1.5 inches of rod for the front, we're going to do the same for that side, put it on the same spot. So for example, if we put one here to here, we're going to do it for the other side as well, and continue on. And so that way we know that they're both symmetrical and it's fresh in our mind.
That's where pull up.
You're gonna statue in there. Oh, right in there, bro.
God damn!
Alright, so we started making the little ribs. That's gonna make it all nice and strong. Keep in mind that these do have like a little dome, a little arc in it, just to kind of mimic how the front one is. So we just started with the basic 3 right now, and then we're gonna slowly make more down. I'll probably put one more in here for strength. But once this is done, we'll be making the same for the other side. So what we got right now is we got the rear flare skeleton is kind of made. So as you can see, the shape is coming along. And whatever we made on the left side, the driver's side, we duplicated it for the passenger side. So for example, if this was like 8.5 on the left side, 8.5 here, 7 3/4 here, same with the other side, and so on and so on. We just kind of made our own little template. So 7 3/4, 7.5, 7 5/8. So everything looks symmetrical. Now from this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another one of these, and that's gonna follow, because if you look at the original front flares, they have another ridge here. So right now what we made is from this point to this point. Now we gotta make this one and then that one. Right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna be making another one of these. So in our template, so this is our outer. This is gonna go here again, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the middle, section it, and then that will be this line here, and then we'll be making another one like that for the outside, like the outer lip area, and then from there it'll be sheet metal time. Alright guys, so right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump onto the right side. So pretty much we finished this last time, so we made the next transition. So we got to do the same for the right side. Alright guys, so here we go. We got the rear flares all welded up. The skeletons are made. So from here we're going to be doing sheet metal work. But as you can see, there's a left and right. They're pretty much 100% symmetrical, very close. And this is the rears. That is the front. So this one right here is the left side, the driver's side. So the way the sheet metal is going to work is it's going to come from here to here on top. Then there's going to be one that's, we might make it two pieces, so we might make one from here and but like join the back side, so that way we have a nice finished edge. And then the second piece is going to come from here into here, and then there's going to be one that's going to be shooting up straight, and then it's just going to be kind of kicked up from here, because this is where the box side is, so it has to have that little step in it. The wheel is going to be in this area, so that's why there's no brace. But yeah, these came out really good, really strong. Big shout out to James, Harmeet, and Silk, Frank, Alex. Those guys came, gave us a hand, and again, stay tuned for more updates.